I had some doodle buggers set up out in the channel on possible drilling sites.
Doodle buggers?
Seismic detectors. I've been measuring the activity out there for a couple of months now. Here, take a look.
Yeah, there has been things moving around out there. Could be earthquake swarm activity.
Yeah, and then it just stopped. Look, just a couple days ago.
I don't like the looks of that.
Neither do I. And the kicker is, I'd be willing to bet that there's oil on those sites. Lots of it, maybe hundreds of thousands of barrels.
You sure?
No, but check out the core samples.
Cruz, this could be the richest oil field in the channel. Where'd you take those samples?
Near the fault line around McAllister Ridge. I've had a hunch about that area for a while.
The rock formations show a lot of stress. I wonder if the swarm activity released any of it.
I wish I knew, Mr. C.
Make sure our rigs are secure.
Yeah, I tested the automatic emergency turnoff valves, and they all work. Even went so far as to check out the leak detection system on the main pipeline. So I'm reasonably sure that the pumps would shut down if there was any big change in the pressure.
But you're worried. Why?
I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. I'm certainly no geologist.
Well, it's possible your doodle buggers made a mistake and there wasn't any swarm activity.
Yeah, it's possible. But I gotta tell you, I checked out those seismometers before and after we laid them down. So I do believe the readings. Frankly, I think we're going to have an earthquake.
Maybe we better stop exploration for a few days.
Yeah, thought of that too. First, I want to talk to a guy I know who's head of the seismology lab down at the university. At least he can verify what I've got.
Let me know what you find out.
Sure thing.
And remember that whatever you find out, all the scientists in the world haven't been able to predict exactly when the earthquake is going to come.
Yeah, and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. This is Castillo. Give me the exploration team, preferably Friedman, on the ship to shore. I know we're having a tremor. Just do it. Clyde, this is Cruz. You boys just get bounced around a little out there? How big are the swells? You got seismic reading for me? I can't hear you. Well, that's not as bad as it felt, is it? Look, it could mean there's something bigger on the way. I want you to drop a depth charge on the McAllister Formation, get me a reading what's happening in the bedrock. No, tell him not to panic. This isn't the big one. Okay, I need it as soon as possible. I got a guy from the university coming over here to tell me what it's all about. Okay, great. Give my regards to Tommy Joe. Later. John, thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh, my pleasure, Cruz. Been a while.
It sure has. Can I get you anything? You want some coffee or something?
Oh, no, thanks. I don't have much time. See, the press will be out of my lab soon, wanting to know all about that tremor we had today. Now, let's see what you got here.
Well, from the seismic readings we've been getting, looks like we had a lot of pressure building up in the McAllister Formation.
Now, that little shaker might have relieved some of it.
What did it register?
4.2 on the Richter. Huh. See, you got the same reading. You must have some pretty sensitive seismometers out there in the channel.
We have very good equipment.
You even picked up the swarming activity.
What do you think? Are we out of danger?
Well, every quake relieves some pressure. The bigger it is, the more pressure is released.
But
this one could just be the peak of the swarm activity. Could be what I think of as a precursor.
There could be a bigger one coming.
Well, take a look at these charts. This is a record of the quake activity along the California fault since 1935.
Wow. You're going to have to tell me what I'm looking for here, John.
Right. Okay, if you'll just take a look at these irregularities, you'll see there's no clear-cut rule. I mean, sometimes a little one indicates a bigger quake's on the way. Sometimes the bigger one doesn't come for years.
In other words, it's impossible to predict with any accuracy.
Right. But there are several faults along the length of California that could go in the next couple of years, or maybe not till the turn of the century.
Or any day now, for that matter.
Yeah, maybe. One thing we can predict, within the next decade, there's one chance in 20 we're going to have a big one. I mean, one that'll register 8 on the Richter scale or more.
Within the next decade. Which means, of course, it could be tomorrow.
Sure.